if one person joins this industry because of Garage Talk, we've done our job.
This episode is sponsored by BM Catalysts, Europe's leading manufacturer of catalytic converters, DPFs and front pipes, helping to keep vehicles running cleaner and greener. Welcome back to Garage Talk and Wrap the podcast with me, Vicky.
And me, Ben. In this episode, we have our own end-of-year review for 2025. I'm not sure we need a preview to this one.
It's the second time we've done it. We did one last year, just kind of rounding up the year, our highs and lows, what our experiences were like, and kind of trends that we'd been talking about throughout the year. So I think it was a pretty good chat.
Yeah, memories as well.
We'll let the listeners decide.
Ben.
Vicky.
We've done it.
Another year.
Another year of Garage Talk.
Oh, what a year it has been.
I know. So this is our second year review.
Yeah.
Where we look back on the last 12 months and look at the highs and lows of Garage Talk.
I hope you got notes. There's been that many highs and lows.
I do have notes.
Excellent news.
Let's just get right into it. The first thing that I have on my list was Silverstone back in March. I feel like that was kind of one of the catalysts for this year. Especially for the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it was. Rob's talk really fascinated me. And the fact that he gave us an exclusive on Pirelli as well, their tyres, which wasn't due out. We actually went in February and it wasn't due out until the 1st of March. And then we got it out. And the amount of views we had off that, it was kind of the start, as you say. And
yeah, I think it was because it's, F1 is a little bit shiny. It's it attracted a different kind of audience that's interested in motorsports rather than just talking about aftermarket stuff. So that bonus episode, I think, did kind of launch us onto the next level. How many subscribers did we have end of last year?
1,000. We hit 1,000 in December.
Hit 1,000 in December. And our goal this year was to... have 5. And now we're on, you look at it every day.
51.
51,000.
51,000 people. That is more than most UK football stadiums. That is a whole football stadium watching us.
I'll take your word for it.
It's not just the subscribers, it's also the viewing figures as well. The one with Stephen Amos, 150,000. The new one with Matt Watson, nearly 50,000 views.
They've definitely picked up. I remember when we were last year looking at each episode and happy when we were like, 2,000 views?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. We've done it.
But, honestly, we're so humbled by the support we've had from everybody. And this wouldn't have happened without the support of the industry as well, because we need to bring industry news. Mm-hmm. And that's always a key, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll talk about it as we go on, but I think the reaction from suppliers, manufacturers, different federations, etc., this year has been really encouraging and really, like you say, it just makes us feel like what we're doing is worth it, and people are watching and people are looking at it, so it makes it feel worthwhile.
One of the biggest things for me really was last Thursday at the IWF dinner. You see a lot of the press going around looking to talk to people, and you got the people like thinking, they're going to question me or anything. We stood at the bar and couldn't move. People just came to talk to us.
I know, we missed all of Joe Wiley.
I know.
Missed the comedian.
I know.
But we had some really good conversations.
It was that. Yeah, it was nice that people want to talk to us, want to interact with us. And I think that's because we're not negative. We always give positive news out and we're always promoting the industry because that's our job.
I think it's also helped, which is going to be my next point to talk about, is that people keep saying we're everywhere. We have been everywhere this year, and maybe that's why we look so exhausted. But we are at all the events, so we are seeing people out and about and building those relationships, which is amazing. I think Automechanica this year was another big moment for us.
Wow.
First time we had a stand there, so first time we'd exhibited. And again, I think after that, the YouTube channel took off a bit more. It's just been two massive jumps.
So one thing I'd like to come back to you on really there is that if somebody gives an opportunity like Automechanica that's been gifted to us, I just think you have to still work for it. I think if anybody puts any money towards our advertising or sponsorship, we have to go and work for it. What I don't agree with is saying, give us £1,000 for a page advert, thank you very much, not doing anything for it.
Yeah.
And that's my philosophy. I think that's why it's worked so well, is that we go out and we work for their money. And, we are actually talking to the garages themselves as well. We're not just talking to the suppliers, because if we haven't got any garages on board, the suppliers just advertising to thin air.
Not talking to anyone.
No, not talking to anyone. So we're always grateful. And we're 2 days away now from going to the Ben Ball. I can't believe that we've been asked to go to the Ben Ball, because it's such a major automotive event, not just aftermarket. and we've supported Ben all year, and it's just things like that that just make you think, wow, what are we doing? Why is everybody supporting us like this? Why is everybody?
Don't question it.
No, I'm not, but it's scary. But
Yeah.
and like I say, the 51,000, I'd have been happy with 5,000 this year. The 51, it is deserved when you look back. Like you say, we are exhausted, but we go to the opening of a door.
I'd probably say, you under promise and over deliver. Like we really do work for it, and we kind of become ambassadors then for our advertisers or the exhibitions or the events that we're at, because like you say, we are positive. We want to help promote it rather than drive them down again. I mean, looking at other events we've been to this year, the Blend, there was Kinetic, which had a bit of a question mark over it, whether we'll go to that one again. I think it was when people ask us for honest feedback, we give honest feedback, and it's not always going to be a glowing review, and some people don't appreciate it.
I think this should probably just jump in there in an appropriate moment and say, biggest thing I'll never forget about Kinetic is that we met Quentin Wilson 2 months before he passed away, sadly.
Yeah.
And firstly, the guy is an absolute gentleman and a real knowledgeable person in the industry. And secondly, we're so fortunate to meet him. He was just, there was no signs of illness, there was no signs of, him suffering or anything. But he was just all energy. And I think we probably had one of the last ever interviews with him, which is,
Maybe.
Things like that. And the strange thing was, when we found out he'd passed away, it was by people commenting on his thing.
Yeah,
it was really strange.
We heard by somebody commenting on our post about him.
Yeah.
So people had obviously found our post about Quentin. It's weird. That's how we found out.
But when you mention ambassadors, he was no bigger ambassador for this industry than Quentin.
Sure.
And may he rest in peace, and all the best wishes to his family. But what an absolute gentleman the guy was.
Yeah, I mean, we've met lots of famous faces this year. We've seen Tim Shaw and First Townsend again at the British Motor Show.
We saw Tim at Automechanica as well.
Brilliant. Yeah, Tim at Automechanica, Ed China, Automechanica. Car Fest.
No, I think it's about time we released the story of Car Fest.
I mean, it was great. And later on, I was going to ask you what your favourite moment from this year was. And I think Car Fest is probably the coolest event we went to, just because it's huge and it's because of who we met there.
Were you cool?
I wasn't cool. No, I was an absolute mess. But everything's just like water off a duck's back with you. And you were you're not afraid of talking to anybody. And somebody made a comment about that at the IAAF conference, actually, as in, why weren't you out there interviewing Joe Wiley? Well, you're not afraid to. And that's the thing. And the worst thing they can say is no. But if they say yes, then we've got some cool content from a famous face to show our viewers too.
I think it's that it's just being an honest person, not going up and pestering them. It's just about being polite, waiting for your moment, and most of them will say yes because they're actually normal people. There's nothing different about a famous person. And like you say, the IAAF conference, we had a rest this year on the night because we were really hard in the day. But some of the people interviewed in the day that the speakers and stuff were very powerful. It's really nice interviewing the celebrities, shall we say, but that is just to get in new viewers, new subscribers, because their stories fascinate people, and they've all got a story.
It's more the entertaining side, isn't it, rather than educational.
You've always told me to be entertaining and educational. That's the entertaining side. We've got so much education. We don't need that.
Not all the
time. No. It's a nice entertainment. And that's one thing we learned this year is that, we need to pick up these interviews. We learned a lot ourselves as well at Car Fest, didn't we? Just watching the team that was the official, with the team we worked with from the official
press
team. Yeah.
Talking about the story of Car Fest was basically you sneaking us into the green room area and just approaching all these celebrities while I was kind of having a bit of a mental breakdown. Just going, we're not supposed to be here. They're going to tell us off. And then having a bit of a panic attack afterwards. But it was all fine.
Yeah.
All in the name of Garage Talk.
All in the name of for the viewers, of course. But Rob Brydon, what an absolute gentleman. And the thing that I found about Rob was that he was just he felt lucky to be in the position he's in. He felt lucky to be, I suppose, being asked to be interviewed about a car story.
Yeah, most of the celebrities
Yeah.
that you talk to are all very humble.
Well, Chris Evans, I mean, Rob was a lovely guy, but Chris Evans was the one that I'll never forget. He was saying, "Are you having a good time? Thanks for coming." And I'm like, Chris, you've put on this show. You've got your production company. Everybody knows how famous you are. And also, to be fair, how much money he's raised. There's no issue about that. And he's worried about Garage Talk having a good time and if it's all suitable, etc. And that, for me, I'll never forget that now in my business history. It's, you'll never be too big to care. Do you know what I mean? And or arrogant. And there's too many people out there that are arrogant. And it's always keep your feet on the ground and just accept what you get and just enjoy it.
Looking to hire skilled technicians without the hassle? At Easy to Recruit, we make recruitment simple, affordable, and effective. We help you find the talent you need quickly, saving you time, stress, and money. The best part? We take care of the heavy lifting so you can focus on running your business. Ready to make recruitment easy? Visit us at www.easytorecruit.co.uk, call us on 017 8822 0694 or email sales@easytorecruit.co.uk today. Easy to Recruit, redefining the hiring process.
I mean, there have been other events as well, just quickly. More fun ones, namely the IAAF football and golf days, which, yes, we're working, but doesn't really seem like work to us at the time, does it? Because it's just, I mean, how fun is it just going around following people, grabbing content of them playing sport really well?
I think for me, it's just showing that the industry is, you need to be in the industry, because we do suffer from an image problem in this industry.
Yep.
But we are a brilliant industry, and playing five-a-side and golf, what better? It doesn't get any better than that.
There've been quite a few changes as well. We obviously, last year, we were filming from the spare room at home.
We were, yeah.
Where we were working, and now we're in an office.
With a nice orange background.
We've got our apprentice, Maddie, who's behind the camera.
Woo!
We've also done some new things with Garage Talk. We've got the podcast, just launched Garage Insiders.
Yeah. And
it's been a big year.
Something coming next year which is going to be even bigger.
Maybe, hopefully.
It is happening. Yeah, and the thing is, we've got to keep evolving. People take their information in different ways. The podcast, we get everybody in this industry wants to put their face in front of a camera. It's a very political industry. Everybody has their thing to say. Everybody has their own area to work upon. But we just thought that it's not always viewable on the video. It's not always, people get bored.
Not always exciting.
No. So we just thought we'd put on a podcast. But how did this happen?
Well, we're always thinking about what's next and what we can do that's new and can get more viewers, more listeners. So we were in the car on the way down to Cardiff.
A long
stuck
journey.
In a lot of traffic. And we were just I was just rattling through, like, well, the only things we can do are this, and this. It's like, well, let's do a podcast then.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. And we were thinking about using a lot more of the content from Garage Talk,
If only
the
we had
YouTube
chance
channel.
to.
But actually, we've had so many people wanting to talk to us and wanting to be interviewed for the podcast. We haven't needed to. We haven't had time to do that.
I think
I've got content backed up for the podcast until probably April now.
April. I mean, that's unbelievable, isn't it? That. And also, but then again, you do need to have content backed up, because that gives us a nice rest now over Christmas. You're not panicking about the January podcast. It's
And
all
maybe
ready
we can
to
go on holiday next year.
Yeah, hopefully. I noticed that the apprentice has booked her holidays in already.
Yeah, she's no fool.
No, I know. Yeah, we were approached by an anonymous garage owner, and they wanted to talk frankly, and they don't have the platform for that, because when they go to some of the events we mentioned previously, they get penalised or ignored and not feel part of the community. And why shouldn't garage owners be able to speak out and say what they want? And the thing I've noticed from it is the engagement has been brilliant. Probably one of the best projects we've ever launched for engagement. We've had comments on our website, we've had comments on social media. And we've got a nice group now of garage owners that are writing articles for us. So I think it's brilliant.
I think it definitely resonates more with other garage owners or other mechanics, doesn't it, when they're being spoken to directly from people who are living it, rather than other businesses or federations or, suppliers talking about what they think is happening in the garage. And with it being anonymous, it was a chance to, and I've said this to them, they're not all the purpose of it isn't always to be controversial. We don't want to be, kicking the hornet's nest. It's just to be honest and frank and talk about their own experiences. Sometimes their failures, which they might not want to share as themselves, but they've got that anonymity and they can share it so other people can learn from it without having to put their name on it.
And I think you mentioned a very prevalent point there. The federations and the associations, and a lot of them are in it for themselves. There's one or two that aren't. We work with one or two that aren't in it for themselves and actually represent the industry. Fantastic. But some of these federations, they're not interested in kicking up a fuss that the driver be sucking up to government, the driver be sucking up to the people that need to hear these things. And
as long as they're getting the money for their membership.
That's it. That's what they're interested in, which is one thing we can't accuse Mr. Field of at the IAAF, of course, and there's a couple of others as well. But we need to be making waves in this industry. We need to be telling people the way it is and what's going on and fighting for our own little corner, not going, yes, Transport Minister, that is right, Transport Minister.
So, topics this year. I mean, we spoke about a few last year, which is still reoccurring. EV, I think, has been on people's minds a lot more this year, especially on the podcast. We seem to be talking about it a lot.
Well, the first podcast is still our most popular, and the guy that came out from Canada with the charging.
Yeah.
But it also brought back a few points from the Schaeffler conference 2 years ago. We have to accept EVs. I don't care what anybody says. You can be a name in the industry. I don't care what you say. If you don't accept EVs are coming, you're going to be left behind. Here. They're here. China's cornering the market, and China don't corner markets out of querying or worrying about what's going to happen. They corner the markets because they know what's going to happen. And I'll refer back to it again. Somebody said they wouldn't, if they set up a garage and they wouldn't do EVs, fine. In 10 years, that garage will be no longer.
But you're just limiting your customer base, aren't you? I found it interesting, actually. I was editing the podcast that will have already come out by the time this goes out, from the members of the IAAF board. And one of them said, they're going to have to think about their business plan moving forward, and are they going to specialize in a certain fuel type or a certain kind of vehicle? And I get that. But to say that you're not going to do EV just because it's not going to happen is very different from I'm going to focus on ICE because that's my business plan. They're two very different things.
One thing I've noticed this year is that people are understanding the market a bit more. They're understanding how crucial they are to the UK. That planning for the vehicles coming in is better for their business as well. It's also better for the motorist, is because it's all about time off work for the customer. So especially if you're with somebody else, you want to drop your car off at 8:30 in the morning, collect it either at lunchtime or the evening. And I think garages are getting better at updating people as the car's there. Whereas in the past, it's been drop it at 8:30, might be ready for 5:30. Our Campbell was a perfect example. 6 hours, and we thought, we were going somewhere else the next day, need it back that day. 6 hours later, this is the level of service that they now have to offer.
I think it's just moving with the times, though. I think other industries are already there and have been for years, and the aftermarket are kind of catching up. Again, somebody said in the podcast coming up that, Gen Z, when they're ordering Domino's, they can see when it goes into the oven. They're going to want the same thing with their cars. And it's not impossible. It just means a lot of catching up.
And that, as an industry, is what we have to offer now, is that service, that top level of service.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it a bit earlier about, people investing more upfront rather than, prevention rather than cure, and looking at pricing and stuff. That and the MOT fee has been a big topic this year.
The MOT fee, yes, it has to go up. I can't believe it hasn't gone up for so long, even with inflation. And if I had a garage now, the only reason you do MOTs really is so you get the repair work. That's the only reason why you'd ever do an MOT test now, because you don't make money on the MOT. And it's crazy. That has to change. But again, we rely on the government.
Yeah.
I mean, they could say they're changing it, and they could obviously do a U-turn the next week or so, which is popular in the old government these days.
Talking about doing MOT for the repair work, though, we put up a TikTok last week. Ambi Singh, who has his own garages as well as Easy to Recruit, talking about the fact that in restaurants, when you're served a meal, or when you're ordering, you're asked, do you want fries with that as well? But in garages, it's, we do the MOT, here are your advisories, and we don't upsell those advisories. Do you want us to repair that for you? Do. And the amount of comments that we got, we got some going, yes, exactly, that's what we should be doing. But some going, it's only an advisory, why do you need to repair it? There's such a contrast in people's views on repairing their cars.
It's ridiculous. If you have an advisory, it's an advisory for a reason. And I spoke to a few MOT tests and say the next year it comes back with the advisories, which then obviously fails, and they wonder why. If you've got an advisory, get it done. Just do it.
I know,
and you can plan.
Yeah, but I know it's difficult with some. You don't know how long that you have until it needs changing.
But
if it goes wrong, then it's going to cost even more.
Costs a lot more.
When quality matters and emissions count, demand precision. BM Catalyst is Europe's leading manufacturer of aftermarket hot-end emissions products. From catalytic converters and OE-level components to expert technical training available on Garage Pro, BM delivers best-in-class manufacturing, rigorous performance, and full compliance. Need parts you can trust? Visit bmcats.com. Partner with BM. Drive profit, exceed expectations.
Tyres are the one. I mean, we went to Sophie Lydon, the tyre ladies, this year, and some of the tyres, TV star Sophie Lydon, but some of the tyres they're bald. And you can guarantee that an MOT, they've been advised to get them changed. You get advised for a reason, for safety. I think a lot of people forget they're driving a ton's worth of metal around on 4 tyres. Every part of that car needs to be serviced. It needs to be in order. And I mean, the rusting, for example, your shock absorbers are going, they're leaking, etc. Get them done. Don't mess around. Just go and get it done.
Other topics. I mean, we've talked about recruitment quite a lot this year.
We've had to recruit ourselves.
I don't think we need to cover it again. It was a topic last year. I don't know if it's ever not going to be a topic with a skills shortage.
I get tired of hearing it now.
Yeah.
It's our own fault.
Yeah. Touching on gender balance, I was going to mention that again. I know we talked about it quite a lot last year. One thing that you and I spoke about last week at the IAAF conference is that, I don't know, I put a post up on LinkedIn, didn't I, about a woman, referring to me and Maddie as your girls.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even in, the aftermarket industry. But I get really tired of it because, I straddle lots of different industries with both of our brands, and it's rife, and I do get fed up with it. But I find it interesting. I've seen quite a few ladies, especially from the aftermarket, putting on LinkedIn that they almost trying to close the conversation on it, saying that it has improved a bit, which is great if that's how they feel. But kind of now saying, you don't always have to comment that it's nice to see a woman on our stand at Automechanica, or you don't always have to say it's great to see a female mechanic. I don't think, personally, we're there yet. I don't think we have to stop talking about it, because great if a few people have changed their minds, or if it's reached a few people, but we're nowhere near where we should be.
No, and why you've still got the 30% clubs who do great jobs, the Women's Automotive Network, why you've still got them trying to get up to 30%, we can't have shortage of people when we don't welcome everybody in the industry. We're just kidding ourselves. We don't have a recruitment problem. If we have a recruitment problem, what the recruitment company's doing? They're not promoting the industry correctly, are they? So I don't think it's a recruitment problem. I think it's a problem within the businesses themselves.
But I think the key is the culture that those companies have, because even if you attract a female, or talking about any kind of diversity, if you attract someone different into that company and they're not being treated well, they're not being treated the same as everyone else, they're not being treated with respect, then they're not going to stay. So it's never going to change.
But we see it on our social media. There's characters out there that are very sexist still. It's disrespectful to ladies. It's disrespectful. And these people are married, and we know their partners or wives, and they're just disrespectful to their partners and wives. If they don't respect the person they're married to, are they going to respect anybody else? And I don't think they understand the damage they're doing to their own brand, but also to the industry's brand.
I wish I could reach more men with the notion that think about the way that you're behaving and what you're saying. Think about if somebody was saying that to your wife or to your daughter or to your sister or to your mother.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it that way, you probably wouldn't be saying or doing half the things you do. So summing up the year then.
Incredible.
Just one word.
Just one word,
you're out.
I'm done.
Okay.
No. You ladies first. You sum the year.
I mean, I don't know what more to say. I don't think we've actually processed properly everything we've done this year. To be fair, maybe over Christmas we'll have a sit down and think and go, oh my God, look at all the things. But it's felt a lot different from last year in terms of, I feel we're respected a bit more and we're valued a bit more. And it's just nice to be kind of picking a little bit at things that need changing and trying to be more positive.
Christmas scares me because we've got a couple of days out, we're in the car together. So watch out, Will, there'll be 2 new products.
No, nothing else.
Okay. I can't take it in where we are. I'm so grateful to everybody that tunes in. I'm so grateful to the listeners. I'm so grateful to every single listener, to every single viewer, to every single person that makes a comment. And as for the sponsors and advertisers, without your backing, it wouldn't happen. And it's as simple as that. I mean, every penny we get, respect, and we earn it, or we go and earn it once they give it us. But all we're trying to do is improve this industry, is make it a better place to be, a better place to work. And hopefully we're achieving that. And if we're not, or we think we can do better, tell us. We're open to conversations. We're open to feedback, because without working as a team and everybody in the industry, we're not going to grow. I mean, we've taken feedback from our apprentice about the video. Apparently, there was too much talking, which is probably me, to be fair. But we then included a couple of pieces of just music on it. You know, that's great feedback. And what I love about our business is that we've got 3 generations. We've got the old generation, the younger generation, and then the young generation. But I come up with the mad ideas. You kind of set them down and be a bit more sensible about them. And Maddie then takes it from a younger's point of view. And actually what we achieve is probably something that hits at least 2 out of 3 every piece. And different parts, different elements. And if we can carry on doing that, then... But if you're out there and you're thinking, they don't do this, they don't do that, tell us. Write down below in the comments, or, you know, email us at hello@garagetalkonline.co.uk. We'll do it for you. That's why we do Garage Insiders. That didn't come from us.
Your best bit of the year?
Is there one?
Yes.
It has to be interviewing Rob Brydon, just from being a Gavin and Stacey fan, and it has to be interviewing Rob Brydon. However, industry-wise, I don't know. It's so difficult to choose. What's yours?
I agree. Like I said, I think Car Fest was my...
No, the Spa Fest bit was your favourite bit, not Car Fest itself.
Yeah, but I didn't get to, have a massage or whatever.
Sorry.
I really enjoyed Car Fest. I also really enjoyed the five-a-side football day, just because it showed how people can work as a team, how competitive everybody is. Some people took it really seriously. Some people look like they never played football before, which would have been me. That's why I wasn't playing. I think that was just a nice way of getting the industry together that isn't in a serious, let's listen to somebody talking, let's do some awards. It was just a bit of fun.
Yeah. The final best bit for me, working with my best mate on it.
Thanks.
It's okay.
And looking forward to next year. Obviously, we've got a new product that we're going to be launching.
Yes.
Any other thoughts for the next 12 months?
I don't know where we're going to end up this time next year. If you'd have said this time last year we'd be at 51,000 subscribers, I'd have laughed at you. If you said we had an office, I'd have laughed at you. If you said we had an apprentice, I'd have laughed at you. I'm just enjoying the ride now. And I suppose the target's got to be 100,000 subscribers. I know you're going to bulk at that. Yeah, I thought
We've already set a target. We're not going to say what it is.
But it's just to enjoy it again, and just to get the best in the automotive industry and to get more people in. If one person joins this industry because of Garage Talk, we've done our job. And and to meet more fascinating people, to get their stories out there, because forget the top brass in this industry. It's about the people behind them, the stories that we need to get out there, because it's a bloody good industry. Join us,
Can't say any more than that, Ben.
That's it for this episode. Again, I don't think there's much summing up needed, as we did it all ourselves here in the chat.
You've had enough of us by now.
Thank you so much for listening in 2025. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. If you've enjoyed today's conversation, don't forget to follow Garage Talk Unwrapped on your favourite podcast platform and hit the bell so you never miss an episode.
And of course, another thank you to BM Catalysts for being this episode's sponsor, the UK and Europe's leading manufacturer of catalytic converters, DPFs and front pipes. You can find out more at bmcats.com.
We've got so much more content to come in 2026, but for now, all that remains is for us to wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
And all the best for 2026.
We'll see you then.